Hello and welcome to your March Tarot forecast, Leo. I started off so strong with getting these out on time. I started early, and then of course I got behind. So hopefully you'll be seeing this soon. I'm just getting the rest of your oracle cards pulled. I love that I just pulled this one that says Speak Truth, because you have the Queen of Swords out here also, and I just paid special attention to that card in particular. Changed in the night. One more. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for being here. Just a really quick description of how this spread works is this top row up here is going to be your main themes for the month. Just kind of the big overall picture ideas that you might be experiencing. Oh my gosh. And then, of course, pull this card all the freaking time. The center row is going to be your unexpected obstacles as signified by these face down cards, and then your ways to overcome or just possible solutions to any issues you might be facing with these upright cards, as well as the oracle cards. And then on the bottom, we just have the different lenses to kind of look through as we are going throughout the month, just ways to view situations or decisions or circumstances. I kind of akin them to lenses in a glass lenses in glasses. You can change the glasses and kind of just get a new fresh perspective on things. So I'm already getting a lot of stuff from this, so I don't want to wait any longer. I just want to get right into it. So your main themes for the month, we have the Two of Swords, we have the Eight of Pentacles, and we have the Hermit. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm really getting a reserved and quiet energy from you. I'm getting that you are working on something, which Leo, Leo has a very kind of boisterous personality. Leo can be, I don't want to say loud. Leo can be attention grabbing, okay? Leo is going to be doing things that you just can't help but notice. It's not so much that they're loud or flamboyant or excessive in their energies or anything like that. They just are doing things that get them noticed. But what I'm really kind of getting here with you right now, Leo, for the month of March, is you are taking some time to kind of take a step back, quiet down. I've quite literally said this in every single reading that I've done so far. I just feel like as we're moving into March and as we're moving into Aries season and then this new energetic year, after we leave Pisces season and go into Aries season, I'm just feeling this overall collective shift of energy of just kind of mellowing out and chilling out. Last month in February, I just felt like there was just a lot going on for everybody. Really big cycle endings, new beginnings, changes, shifts, needing to have these really interpersonal moments of killing old ways of being and moving into something new. And that's really what Pisces season is about too. So that's not really too surprising. And it's really not surprising me too much either to feel a calmer energy going into Aries season, because one, it is a new energetic year. Also, Aries is a very grounded sign. So I feel like we are moving from this very emotional water sign into a much more level grounded earth sign. Oh my god. Words are hard. So anyways, back on topic here. You guys seem like you're really taking a step back, a moment back, to kind of just assess what it is that you are doing going forward. You guys do have the Two of Swords, which is talking about making a decision, choosing this or that. I do believe you really need to be focusing on your intuition right now. So we have the moon in the background of this card, signifying intuition, and also the Hermit, who is looking at the star for guidance. So these are both very much saying you need to have this internal reflection time in order to really progress in whatever it is that you are putting your efforts into right now. So there is something that you're trying to improve upon, which is great. So you guys are definitely working on something, or there's some area in your life that you really want to improve upon. That's what I'm getting with this Eight of Pentacles. This is mastery, skillmanship, being very proficient in something, maybe even teaching someone something, or apprenticeship. But I believe that you recognize that you need to have this reflective moment, which is great. Sometimes we don't realize that we need to take this time away in order to cultivate whatever it is we're trying to cultivate. You guys do have this Two of Swords, though, this decision. I think you guys are struggling to maybe come to a decision of some kind with whatever it is that you are trying to improve upon. It could be methodologies in which you are practicing in, or it could also be you are not sure. Okay, this is what I'm getting. You're not sure exactly where you want to go with your craft, is the word I'm getting specifically. So you have a general overall sense of something that you want to do, whether it be like an artistic endeavor, maybe it's a business. I definitely am getting more of like career, hobby, activity. Activity is a good word for it, because this doesn't necessarily need to be a career right now, but it could be something that you're wanting to turn into a career in the future. Or it is something that you want to turn into a career right now. I think eventually, at some point in time, you would like for this to be a career, but you are trying to figure out exactly how you want to go about manifesting this in the real world, how you want to go about materializing this from this idea, this knowledge, because the sword, right? Knowledge. And we have Queen of Swords later, and we have Speak the Truth card here. So you have Starlight. Please calm down. No, you're going to fall. So you have this knowledge of something that you want to do, this intuitive notion, right? And you're just very much struggling with deciding what you want to do with it and how you want to go about it and which avenue you want to go down. And that is why you need to take this internal reflection, okay? So I think this is something you already kind of know, but I am just drawing some more attention to it, giving emphasis to it. So maybe if you've been putting it off, or maybe it's been in the back of your mind. Sorry for my dog walking around, and I'm sure you can hear her little footsteps. But if this is something that you've been like putting off, it's been in the back of your mind, or you just are kind of viewing it in a lackadaisical type of way, a lack of seriousness, this isn't that important type of mentality, this is your urge to change that mentality. Starlight, no. Sometimes we know that we need to do things and we are just reluctant to start doing them. And it can be out of fear. It can be out of indecisiveness. It can be out of not knowing where to start, or maybe not recognizing that we need to have these moments of reflection. So I'm just reiterating it for you. I do think this is something you already know or have been working on potentially, or it's come up before. This is not like a brand new idea to you. So I just want to reaffirm that you should be doing that. We have this oracle card that says the hidden worlds, changing consciousness, awareness, extrasensory perception. Okay. I'm not even going to get that card, but it comes up all the time. I pull this card constantly in this deck. Actually, I feel like I need to pull another one now. And I lift up the deck, and this is the only card that did not come up. So, the Relics of Lemuria, Fragments, Memory, Reclaiming. And that one was ESP, Awareness, Sensitivities. Yes, so once again, Fragments, Memory, Reclaiming. I think you know where you need to be going with this. I think that this indecisiveness, this inability to come to a decision, is really kind of unnecessary. It seems like you do have a notion of what you're wanting to do, and it's really just a lack of awareness and a lack of tuning in to your higher self. Remember, once again, we have the Hermit looking at the star. The star is representative of source energy, higher energy, God, whatever you want to call it, or you could view it as your inner self, your better alignment. There's many ways of viewing this. In my perspective, they're all really the same. But we get tied to certain semantics or words of things, certain ways of phrasing things that speak to us or resonate with us in a certain way that other ways just do not, or for some reason we don't believe in whatever else it is. I don't know. But needless to say, it doesn't matter. Whatever you resonate with in this central alignment, this higher knowledge, spirit guides, source energy, intuitiveness, your own inner knowing, whatever it may be, you guys really are kind of blocking your own pathway right now because you do know what this is, but you're not. It is being told to you. It is being shown to you, maybe in dreams, deja vus, flashbacks, either something that you have experienced either in this life or a previous life, and you are getting these hints of what it is, but you are not being aware enough of them, or you are being dismissive, or I'm getting that you really need to quiet down. You need to quiet your mind. This is not an audible or auditory quieting. It is a internal quieting. This inner indecisiveness. Yeah, indecisiveness keeps being the word I'm getting here. And your lack of awareness of this answer that you're seeking. You're looking for the answer, you're being given the answer, but you're not being aware of the answer because you are not fully in tune with this inner communication, okay? Inner communication. Let's keep going. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse up here. So let's go down to these obstacles, unexpected obstacles, and ways to overcome. So let's just flip these over real quick. Wow. Wow. Oh, interesting. So interesting. Wowee. Ooh. I like this. I like all of them. So, to start off, we have the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords is a self-acknowledgement that something is over and deciding to move on to a new cycle. And what's really cool is we do have the Ace of Swords. It is in the reverse, but we do have it. So there is ending, beginning, okay? Ending, beginning. And this indecisiveness is also swords. So there is a lot of internal mental thought needing to happen here. And I would like to also show that I have the Speak Truth card, this Oracle card, and in the reverse, it mimics the Ace of Swords, right? Two Ace of Swords here. Very interesting. In addition to this Ace of Swords and Ten of Swords, we also have the Ten of Cups, okay? Now, remember, this is coming up in our unexpected obstacles. And something that I like to kind of remind not only myself, but also people watching this. And as I'm saying that, I'm looking at this card, being drawn to this card of higher perspectives. You'll see why that makes sense here in just a moment. But, oh, and also, these both have wings. Wings up here, and then there's wings somewhere around here. I can't see the card, so I'm just pointing. But definitely getting an idea of elevation. This card also has a white bird of some kind up here in the top corner, probably some sort of dove is what I would assume. And I'm going to skip down here real quick to the Queen of Swords, which I did mention earlier. She has an owl up here. Knowledge, right? Makes total sense. Swords are about knowledge, intellect. You have a lot of swords. And the swords are really you have the Nine of Cups too, in addition to the 10. Interesting. So I'm really getting this is a story of the swords, okay? So we have the Ace of Swords in the reverse, which once again, I'm not surprised to see that with this Two of Swords, because like I said, Two of Swords is indecision, right? It is juggling between multiple things that we're a little unsure of. And the Ace of Swords is new information, new knowledge, new intellect, the spark of something. I mean, there's quite literally like a image down here, or a not an image, but a shape that really gives me this idea of spark, of starting, and of activation. Activation is a good word. And God, and that spark is really once again mimicked in this card. These two cards are so reminiscent of one another in these different ways. So interesting. Okay, moving on to these cards a little bit more. So like I said, I'm really getting a story of the swords. So we have this indecisiveness. Ace of Swords is a spark of something to act. It's very active energy, and it is new intellect, new knowledge. I used a word a second ago that I really liked, and I have already forgotten it. Yeah, you guys can rewind if you need to to relook, because I don't remember what it was now. It comes to me, I say it, and then it is gone out of my mind. But with this being in the reverse, I'm obviously seeing a lack of spark, a lack of action, a lack of acting on whatever this knowledge, this intellect really is. And it's coming from this state of being where you have not yet let something go that you are needing to let go. And I once again believe that this is just a way of thinking, or something that you experienced, and it is something that your mind is routinely being drawn back to. So it's some thought, maybe a feeling, maybe a situation. It could be a scene. It could be something that is playing out like a movie in front of you in your mind, of some sort of situation that you lived through. And I think that it was obviously a hurtful situation. That's why you guys are getting the Ten of Swords, and this pain that is associated with it. And it feels like deep emotional pain. Something happened where you really thought that, man, I was getting such like a career vibe up here, and now I'm getting more of like a love connection vibe. But I'm not 100% sure why, because there's not really anything in this spread that is pointing me towards that. So the best answer I have that I'm getting for that is you have this thing that you're working towards, right? And you experienced something that was emotionally difficult, draining for you. I feel like maybe it was some sort of relationship, friendship, platonic relationship, romantic relationship, it doesn't matter. Some sort of interaction with another individual. And something happened with that, and it has been causing a lot of strife and turmoil for you, and you keep letting it influence whatever this is. There's conflict here. I'm seeing conflict, or being told that there's conflict. And I think that's why we are seeing so many swords. Ooh. All of these are swords. I know these are like really haphazardly like placed, but all of these are swords. And although it is representative of word, intellect, knowledge, I also think of fighting, swords. What did people use to fight with? Swords. So I think you're having some internal strife regarding this situation that was not related to whatever you're trying to do, but it is still affecting it. It is still causing turmoil. Now, as I say that, let me look at these other two cards. They're very applicable to this whole message. We have the Tower in reverse. Hello, Tower in reverse and Ten of Swords. Okay, this is basically the same message right here. Acceptance of something happened, and like, you can't change it. You can't change it. The past is the past. What has happened, and no matter how many times you sit there and relive it and try to, I don't know, what I'm getting is that you're trying to change the outcome. of the situation, but the situation is in the past, and so you can't change the outcome. It's impossible to change the outcome because the outcome has already happened. But you are staying in your mind. The moon can also be illusion, right? And choice, outcome. You got A, but you wanted B. So you're replaying this situation in your head because it caused a lot of emotional pain for you. And you're just not accepting that what has happened, and you just need to let that go and deal with the situation as it is presenting itself to you. But instead, you're having this kind of like Seven of Wands moment. And I know this isn't your ways to overcome, but I'm getting a pretty strong message about this row right now. So I want to kind of just keep rolling with it. The Seven of Wands to me is very much what I like to call fighting for your life. Not quite necessarily, because there's just things, obviously it's the seven. Things are coming after the seven. It's not going to be the be all end all of the wands. But the individual in the Seven of Wands is on a hill or higher territory, and they're fending off all of these wands that are coming at them like they're being attacked. Once again, a very, very active kind of energy here. And one way of looking at it that I really see a lot of meaning in is you just feel like, when I say fighting for your life, I guess what I'm trying to say is that interesting. Okay. I just wanted to look at some things a little bit closer. When I say fighting for your life, what I mean is that you feel like you have to keep fighting, fighting, fighting. Like you cannot take a break, because right now you have the upper hand. You have the upper ground. You are elevated above all of these wands that are attacking you. And so you think if you take this moment of rest, like the Hermit is calling you to do, even the Two of Swords is calling you to do, intuitiveness, she's blindfolded. She needs to really look inside of herself and not like externally. And you're afraid, if you do that, if you take this moment of introspection, of rest, that you're going to be shooting yourself in the foot and you're going to lose your upper hand and you're going to be unable to accomplish whatever this task is. Now, just so we're not getting confused here, both for yourself and for me, I want to reiterate that I see these as two separate situations that are influencing, not influencing, they are affecting. There's a cause and effect. They're not affecting each other, because I don't believe that whatever this is, whatever this thing that you're trying to manifest in the physical world, career, job, hobby, whatever that is, I do not believe that that is affecting this emotional turmoil that you're having. But I do believe that the emotional turmoil is affecting this. It's a very one-sided, parasitic. That's the word I'm getting, parasitic. So if you know anything about parasites, or like symbiotic relationships, the parasite takes from the host and it does not like give anything back to the host. It's not a cohesive relationship. It's just the parasite is just taking, and the host is losing to the parasite. So I'm getting that kind of, that's the exact energy that I'm getting here, is like this emotional turmoil is very parasitic to this goal that you're trying to accomplish. And in order to stop that leaching of energy, of time, of creativeness, of manifestation, of gratitude, of love, of acceptance. Ooh, of acceptance, yes. You just have to acknowledge that what happened, and that you can't change the past, and that you can only influence the future. You cannot decide the future, you can only influence it. And the only way you can influence the future is by being present right now. Being present in the current moment. And I also want to look at this changed in the night. You have changed quickly. Kind of once again reiterating to this whole message of you went through something that was emotionally taxing on you. to the point that you're still dealing with it and it's affecting other areas of your life. And like I keep saying, you can't change the past. The past has already happened. You want to change the past. I don't think you realize that you want to change the past, or you're not viewing it as that's what you're doing. But every time you keep replaying the situation over and over and over and over and over in your head, like it's stuck on a loop. Why are you doing that? Are you hoping for a different outcome? Because if you're hoping for a different outcome, or wanted a different outcome, and now it's almost like a punishment to yourself is what I'm getting. You're punishing yourself for it happening the way that it happened. You feel like you should have had more responsibility regarding it. I'm not sure why you feel that way. You can't change what other people do. You're not in charge of other people's actions. And so any responsibility that you might feel has to be your own responsibility. And once, Nine of Cups, hello, internal emotional fulfillment. So this is saying, okay, and this is really, the 10 is more lineage. It's more internal and external. It's kind of like long term, maybe family, maybe generational lineage. I think I said lineage already. So you thought that there was this monumental, what is the word I'm looking for? Holistic, and I mean holistic in terms of relationship wise, not like all encompassing. That's a better word. You had a situation that you thought was going to be all encompassing in your life. It didn't work out. It's starting to affect other areas of your life because you don't want to let it go. And the way to let it go, so I keep telling you that you need to let it go. And you're like, yeah, I get it. I need to let it go. How do I let it go? Is through focusing on your own internal emotional fulfillment, okay? Your own. Hermit, 9. The Devil, okay? Losing these self-imposed chains. Like, you are the one keeping yourself here. And I know that this is a really, it's a really common message, right? And this is a general reading, so it can only be so specific. But this idea of self-imposed chains is such a common one, especially in the tarot. And I feel like maybe that can give an idea of this is pseudo knowledge. You're not really gaining anything helpful from it because it's a repetitive message. But the reason it's a repetitive message is because so many people do it. Let's think about that, right? Oh, I'm skeptical of tarot because it sounds like everything's kind of the same meaning. Well, why does it sound like everything's kind of the same meaning? The tarot is based on archetypes, and it's based on situations that we all go through throughout life, and it makes it relatable to everybody. And so what is something that is relatable to everyone? And that is that we are constantly self-imposing. We are constantly putting chains around our own necks, chaining them to whatever it is that we feel like we need to be chained to. Oftentimes, probably unconsciously doing this. We're not aware we're doing it. When we're doing this, when we're taking these chains, we put this chain around our neck and we call it loyalty, right? We take the other end of that chain that is now attached to our neck, we attach it to a person, a place, a thing, and we call that love. Just because we call it love and loyalty doesn't mean that's what it is. It's still a chain. It's still binding us to something that we do not need to be bound to because we are free spirits. You don't need to be bound to anything ever, in my opinion. You're a free spirit to do with whatever you want to do. And that's how we come back to this idea of autonomy and of self-imposing and internal fulfillment being such a focus, because you can't control what other people do. I'm pretty sure I said that earlier when I was talking about how you have this outcome that you keep replaying. Queen of Swords, she has this owl above her, and she is the Queen of Swords. It is knowledge, the knowledge that you need to focus on yourself. You need to get rid of whatever it is that's tying you to this situation, that's making you indecisive, that's making you not bring into actualization what it is that you want to bring into actualization, okay? You are too focused on whatever this emotional hurt was, You don't feel like you can take time to breathe. You're just like, I gotta go, 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 go. Because if I don't go, 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 I'm gonna remember that I'm here. I'm gonna remember that I have to have this moment of understanding, of acceptance, of surrender, of forgiveness. Ooh, yeah, forgiveness is like coming through super strongly. You need to forgive yourself because you keep blaming yourself for this turmoil in this situation. You feel like it's your fault, and I'm not saying that it's not entirely someone else's fault. I don't know the situation. It's a very general read, so there could be varying degrees of faulthood going on here. I keep really getting drawn to this card. But you need to forgive yourself. Whoa. That is very interesting. I'm going to have to look at that later. I'm just noticing some art on this card that is very reminiscent of art that I have actually drawn myself. So it's drawing my attention to this cup. Inside this cup, it almost looks like a flame at first, but it's not. It is this symbol. I'm not sure the easiest way for you to see it. And I can't remember what the mudras, I believe these are called mudras. So Leo, maybe looking up mudras would be significant for you. This one in particular, I don't know what it is called. You should be able to find it relatively easily. And also, there is a iguana or some kind of lizard at the bottom. I think it's an iguana. I'm not too up to date on my reptiles. But this idea that I'm getting with this iguana is that it is a reptile, and reptiles need to regulate their body temperature with light and heat and lamps. And that is making me think of fire, which is making me think of wands and also of this tower. So kind of just the whole idea of this fire is that it's an active energy. So I think that there's just some more emphasis, especially on this like cup card, because cups are very passive, they're very receptive, they're not active at all. And so I find it interesting that we do have this animal that regulates its entire being on heat lamps, sunbathing, and that there is kind of this big circle in the middle, kind of represents a pentacle almost. It is kind of reminiscent of the sun, and the coloring of this card, which is really what's been drawing me to it, is coloring is kind of makes me think of a sunset. So sunsets feel like a very energizing time for you. If you're able to go view a sunset, I would. You are, Leo's like, I knew fire had something to do with something, and I just like could not. It wasn't computing in my mind, other than wands in the tower. But fire, Leo, you're a fire sign, and you have this chameleon. So I'm really getting this like lean into your Leo tendencies, lean into, and wherever you find Leo in your chart, could be sun, moon, or rising, or anywhere else in your chart. Maybe you have a lot of Leo in your chart. It doesn't necessarily need to be like, I'm Leo, but lean into these Leo characteristics. I'm getting magnet. I'm getting you can't take your eyes off of me. And I'm getting that with this. So learn, know and understand that you need to let go of this situation and that it is negatively affecting you and hindering where you have the potential to go. It may not be hindering you right this very second, but I mean, it kind of is, because if you're having this inability to decide something or this indecisiveness, then that's hindering you. But if it's not hindering you now, it will be hindering you. And it's very easy. easy is not the right word. It's very simplistic on how to move past this, right? This just acceptance, self-acceptance of what is, and learning to live with that and to operate from a state of what is and not of what could happen or what did happen that I didn't like and I wanted it to be different and it's not different. I'm going to sit and dwell on the past. Current now time. Current now time. Queen of Swords knows that. She knows that she needs to be in the now with her mind because she is the Queen of Swords. She is the Queen of intellect, of guidance, of knowledge. She understands that now is the time to be present in and not to be stuck in the past or in the future. So that's really the message I have for you, Leo. You guys really, per usual, are the creators of your own story. You can decide to let go of this whenever you should choose to. It's really just a matter of being honest with yourself. You have so many swords in this, and like just this really unified message of truth and knowledge and intellectual sovereignty. And don't be afraid to act on it. You don't need to have this indecisiveness, and it's okay to let go. Well, first off, it's okay to be upset about whatever this is. It's okay to mourn and to grieve if you need to. Please take the time to do that. The tower can also represent something that is inevitable that we are trying to ignore or pretend like it's not coming or it doesn't exist. And so I feel like if you haven't taken time to grieve whatever this situation was, maybe, you know, like I said, I believe it to be some sort of connection with someone, some sort of relationship. Doesn't have to be necessarily romantic. It can be platonic. It can be a work relationship. It can be a relationship at home, like a roommate or something, or maybe a spouse, or maybe children. You know, whatever resonates with you. But if you haven't taken the time to mourn that, because it is something that I feel did emotionally really impact you, make sure you take the time to do that, because you cannot be receptive to moving on and to the gifts that life is going to give to you until you release whatever that is. So just because it didn't happen, and that situation is no longer viable, does not mean you're not still holding on to it and it's not still taking up space. Create space. This is an idea. I have a board. You can't see it, but I have a board over there, and it's a bunch of different oracle cards that I just picked up one day. They're all from different packs. There's like sample cards, and I made a collage board out of it. All cards that spoke to me. And in the very, very center of the board, it says create space. And it's the one I'm always the most drawn to. And I was actually just thinking about that whole concept and idea last night. This idea of creating space. And that's coming through for me with you, because until you create that space, until you let go of whatever it is, which once again, I'm going to remind you, is your own doing, your own action, your own willing. Once you do that, this is going to become way easier, right? But you're still holding on to it. I know you're still holding on to it because you keep replaying it, hoping for a different outcome. It's not going to change. But, you know, I'm repeating myself at this point. But just an overall idea of you still have to release it. You still have to choose to release it in order to really be open and receptive to new things coming in. So Leo, I hope that was helpful for you. Please let me know if you liked the video or if any of this resonated with you. And I will talk to you guys shortly for your April tarot forecast. You guys have a wonderful day.